Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot, your ultimate destination for pop culture, celebrity, and royal tarot readings. Today, we are going to dip into rock royalty with Jimmy Page. Now, I've been obsessed with Jimmy Page the last few days. I didn't know why, but he did an amazing surprise performance. He at the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was inducting Link Ray, who's one of his influences, and they did a video. It was so great. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the Jimmy Page thing. But they did a video introduction of the inductee, and then it went dark and he was on stage and he performed. And I am just a tremendous Jimmy Page, not Led Zeppelin fan. I know that sounds a little odd. I like Led Zeppelin. I'm not obsessed with them, but Jimmy Page, I got really, really keen on him when he was in the supergroup The Firm. And of course, he's a fan of Crowley. He owned one of Crowley's homes, which had a very odd history and a very odd ending to that story. There's actually an organization that is still trying to restore the house after it was lost mainly in a fire, but it was on Loch Ness. Like, oh, so cool. Let's take a look. Shockingly, I was horrified to find out that he's almost 80 years old. I know he looks really old, but he's always going to be in the dragon suit for me. So on the thumbnail, I think I'm going to do the dragon suit that he wore, which was allegedly a magical wardrobe. So let's take a look at Jimmy Page. We'll be right back. So welcome back. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to take a dive into the mystical life of Jimmy Page, the rock god. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about him because of his association with magic and Aleister Crowley and his interest in the, say, shadier side of being mystical and magical. Absolutely, he's a rock god. He is one of the best guitar players. I'm not going to say the best because I do like Steve Vai too, but I'm going to say he's one of the best guitar players ever to walk the planet. So let's take a look. And I don't want to get into the dark stuff. I don't think this video is going to really resonate with a lot of my viewers because we usually talk about celebrity gossip, royal gossip, those kinds of things. This is my kind of gossip. This is the kind of stuff I talk about in my spare time, especially with my bestie Kay. So let's take a look. And I'm up to my ears with music. I know you guys saw in the community post, my son's band made it to second in the nation in open class. They're the best percussion section in open class in the country. So my son is part of that. Yay. If you didn't see the video, you can go see it. They're also on US Band's Instagram as well. So it was a really tremendous weekend. We wrapped up outdoor band season. We're going right into indoor band season very shortly. So, but let's take a look at Jimmy Page. And of course, you guys know what deck I have to use. I have to use the Aleister Crowley deck. So I want to take a look and see what his real legacy is going to be. There's so many people that comment on his poise and his wit and his culture when they see him speak. And he is very, very soft spoken. He's got a very calm, sweet voice, if you ask me. And there was also the situation with Laurie Maddox. There's a lot of stories about the Laurie Maddox situation. I am going to not pass judgment on that. I'm going to say that it was a very different time. A lot of those baby groupies were running around of their own volition and, enjoying the fruits of that time period. So I don't know. I can't say. I'm not going to pass judgment on that. But I do want to see what the delightful Mr. Page's legacy is going to be. We're going to use, of course, the Aleister Crowley deck. So there is absolutely something magical about him. Ooh, this is interesting. So those of you that are not familiar with this Thoth deck, I will describe and explain. So we've got the Empress here, the High Priestess here. This is the Six of Wands, the Aeon, which is our Judgment card in the traditional deck, 20th card. And we have the Fool, which is our first card of the major arcana. This is one of my favorite Fool cards. I think anybody who's into tarot, this is an amazing depiction of the Fool. It's a crazy, really rich depiction of the Fool, but Lady Harris did an amazing job on these this particular deck. So what do we have with this Empress and the High Priestess together? We're going to talk about these two cards together because this is a blending of giving birth and ripping back the veil, opening up the channels to other worlds. Now, can we do this with electricity, with music? Absolutely. And I do think that this is what he in particular is tasked with. So those of you that meditate, they have meditations that have binaural beats, those kinds of things. When we have someone who is a guitarist or a violinist or a pianist or a single instrument, and through their physicality and spirit, they are making that instrument sing and resonate, there is a certain type of magic that goes in there. Those of you that are singers, if you've ever sang in a choir and you hit that amazing harmony with someone else, there's something that takes place and spins out into the immediate environment that is indescribable. At one time, Led Zeppelin described their music as the most ancient form of weaving. And I think that there's something to that. There is something very, very magical about what they did. Now, was that bringing together certain young people to activate activate some kind of momentum? Yes. So if we pull out the 10 of Cups, is about bringing people together to get them activated with that Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands is the one who goes forth and takes the energy and moves it into action. So this is a very interesting, super sexy, super fiery, super exciting kind of alchemy, if you will. I'm going to call it alchemy. So then when we move into, if we're talking about the, and when we cast this kind of spell, when we cast the kind of psychic bomb, let's just say psychic bomb that we set off, when we cast that spell and we set that off, it resonates for ages. I want you to think about it like we drop a pebble into a lake. It's going to resonate for ages. Are people still listening to Thank You and the Immigrant Song and Stairway to Heaven? Everyone's heard Stairway to Heaven. Yes, people are still listening to that. So it's resonating. So that spell is still being cast. Now, there was one of the records had an engraving on both sides. And I believe it was the sigil. I think it was Jimmy Page's sigil on one side, and it was another sigil on the other side. Those of you that are unaware of sigils, the different icons that they had for themselves were actually sigils. They were actually some spell casting there as well. So and Jimmy Page has said he will never reveal like what was the makeup of his sigil, which is fine. He can have all the secrets he wants. So back to his legacy. When we get to here, the Six of Wands is mission accomplished. We have done what we set out to do. So this psychic bomb, setting this out, activating young people, continuing to activate young people, leaving that legacy there, bringing them into another world, into another dimension, another level has worked. And it's opening these channels so that they can get messages and commune with the beyond. So it's a really, really super heavy message. Yes, the legacy is going to continue. Now, when we get into the Aeon is about regeneration and recurrence. And it's interesting that we get it with the Fool here, because that tells us that this is mission accomplished for this lifetime, but the legacy and moving on, we get to do this all over again. So he is going to have another impact in the next lifetime, and we'll pull some of those cards. What will be the goal there? The goal there will be to be less in your face with that Sun in reverse. And Queen of Wands, it will be building upon what has already been done in this lifetime, but the next one will likely be the last one. We would likely be at the end of the cycle of elevation for him. So, the fact that there's some concealment here, when you're a rock star, you can't walk down the street. Like if I saw Jimmy Page, I think I would faint. I think if I was in England and I saw him walking down the street, I absolutely think I would faint and fall down. Hopefully he would pick me up, but he's 79, so maybe he wouldn't be like that crazy person. But the next lifetime is going to be much more concealed. His efforts will be much more concealed, and he'll be much more detached from the situation. He's not going to be the catalyst, more he's going to be with this Queen of Wands, more the undercurrent and the emotion of kind of motivating others to do that. So will he become a teacher, possibly have, celebrity students that become more of a big impact in a larger world? Possibly. That's possibly what's going to happen. But I do think that mission accomplished this lifetime. I think this was a task to activate, and I'm sorry I'm using the word activate. I know that's like, some people don't like that word, but this was to activate some people. Now, how much longer do we get him? I gotta, we're gonna have him for a while. I just gotta know. Am I allowed to know? Past, present, future. Oh man. So I think we've got some I think we've got some issues going on. So if we have past, present, future, very much in control of his destiny, of his physical body, of everything, very much in control here in the past. But now we're getting to the point where I think he is just very content kind of going through his day. And it almost feels like he is retired. I don't feel like he's writing new music. It's like everything he's needed to write has been done in terms of music. But I do think that there is more written information from him that we may see posthumously. I think there's going to be some like notes on the life of Jimmy Page that we'll see later on, crop up. You know, I don't know if his spouse will hand it out, which, by the way, his spouse, I think, is in her 20s. So I die because Jimmy Page is 79 and I'm too old for him at 52. He is on my hall pass list. He's on my hall pass list. So, Gregopedia knows. So, and that's okay because we both have Patrick Stewart on our hall pass list. This really looks like, you know, we're not going to see much more writing in terms of music, but I think we'll see some written words. I think we're going to have a very different picture of him posthumously. I don't feel that that's eminent. We're not going to lose him, you know, presently, but I do think that, you know, we're already winding down in terms of creativity, and I shouldn't say winding down in terms of creativity. His creativity has gone in a different direction. He's almost pumped the guitar well dry. Now he plays for pleasure and plays for the purposes of weaving that kind of special magic. So really, really interesting. So I don't want to go too further. I don't want to go too much further due to the time change. My crazy son decided to not get up for school. And so my hair looks like this. And I think I want to do something with it. Monday is my big production day. I get a lot of work done on Mondays. And I was derailed for an hour and a half because I had to take him to school. But he's a winner, so I can't be too upset. But then again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel and for coming and seeing all my videos. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like your own magical reading, you can book it at the link in the description below. I do have a special running between now and New Year's for any parties, and they can be virtual or they can be in person. Hostess, if you book 8 people, including the hostess, I will read the hostess for free. So let me know if you have any questions. fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. You can always email me. But I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I'm going to go fix this hair because I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, this is not doing it. Have a great day, guys.